Welcome back, everyone, and welcome to this terribly exciting double feature where I wrap up the last two wars of the season because I fell behind and wasn't able to get them out sooner. The theme of today's video is Archangel and the incredibly complicated playstyle that comes with him. It's demanding, exacting, and in this video you'll see me rise to the challenge. As you can see from my team, this is a kind of entirely AA based team. I've just put on the Odin pre-fights so I can deal with Rich Get Richer nice and easily, don't have to worry about all this Fury and power gain stuff. And I've got White Magneto along the way. Not only does this give me guaranteed parries, of course, in certain fights, such as this one, where you want to get a nice parry at the start, because of course the here we go, parry, heavy, boom, look at that, parry, oh re-parry, advanced version of the tactic. Watch out, guys, I'm not sure everyone can pull that off. There we go, whatever, Archangel. Anyway, one thing that's always also nice about White Magneto is his synergy, which people don't often talk about, which he gives metal here, I think it must be metal attackers an extra 10% ability accuracy, which is very nice for AA because you want to be getting as many, poisons as possible. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So the way that the poison on block works is that it's 25% chance for every bleed, but I don't see why that chance can't be increased by increased ability accuracy. I think. I'm not entirely sure. In my head, it's nice synergy. Maybe it doesn't do anything. Anyway, so here we go again with another parry heavy. The only thing I can really commentate in all these fights is the different levels of luck I have in whether my bleeds and poisons all stick. As you can see here, although it appears here Rich Get Richer is a bit confused because it was giving Venom lots of buffs, lots of passive furies, even though I have at least as many different kinds of buffs. But doesn't matter, the fight's over in the blink of an eye. Suddenly we've done section 1, that was nice. And now we're moving on to section 2, which is of course still the Rich Get Richer path. People like putting all these cosmics here. For one reason or another, they are usually... of course, cosmics are often poison immune, but for some reason the cosmics people like to put here usually aren't poison immune. So, AA can just tear through this. The only difficulty with Cersei is, of course, if she throws a heavy at the start, she gets the glancing buff, which turns off all your AA stuff. So, there she didn't throw heavy, which is very kind of her. But once you've started, once your Neros are going, it's easy game. And yeah, this fight's easy. Here, I think I completely mistimed her SP1, but chicken that I am, I'm using an indestructible boost, so I'm fine. Our next victim is Silver Surfer, who's a rank 4, but that's not going to save him from my elite level strats and all that stuff. So yeah, because this video was so quick, I thought I would just throw it together with the next one, and because I'm using basically the same team, not quite the same team, but a very similar team each time. Look at this, laying well. I'll get some bad luck there. Don't land any Neros there. That's fine. Fully evade the SP1 like a pro, and yeah, the fight's basically over. That was 20 seconds. Including the run on at the start. Sorry, not including the run on at the start. Yeah, 23. Good. And my final fight here. Oh, something I should have said earlier. How remiss of me is that the global is down. There we go. We had an elite squad do a tactical strike at the boss in the first sort of 6-8 hours of war. So the rest of us could do the whole thing with the global down, which is very kind of them. So the global did not come into play in my Venom and what's his face, Annihilus, and now this Kingpin fight, which is significant because of course the fights are harder when they might randomly go unstoppable. Consider that foreshadowing for what you're about to see in the next war. So this, this is I've been doing this matchup so frequently from Battlegrounds recently. I feel very comfortable with it. I think I've mentioned before. We've got the nice ability from AA where for every bleed on the opponent, the chance of them shrugging off debuffs is reduced by 25, I think it's 25%. Kingpin only has a 60% chance to shrug off anyway, so You know, you have pretty good odds once you've got a bleed or two on, and once the bleeds start to stack, and once you've got the Neuros, which of course also decreases ability accuracy, then yeah, he just becomes a big ball of health to get through. I'm perfectly happy to punish his SB1 with my heavy because the spacing and timing is nice and easy, and the fight's over. So that took 44 seconds, which is a real shame given how quick all the rest were. And now we're just going to jump straight into the second war. This was a do or die, as it were, war for us. So we lost that previous war, I think by 1 death, which was pretty annoying, or possibly on time, I can't remember. And now we need to win this to get into Masters. So I guess there's a bit of pressure. Here I've got almost the same team, except because I'm not taking Rich Get Richer, I don't have Odin. Instead I have Spidey, who we'll be using a little bit later. Magneto on kinetic transference. Of course, Magneto is immune. No, sorry, Archangel is immune to ability accuracy reduction. So even though you're metal, you can still do your thing. Here I'm just trying to bait out the SP1 because I don't want to risk taking SP2 to the face and getting a big bleed on me. He's not really throwing it at that point. I think, whatever. I'll just keep going, Neuro him down. I probably could have committed there, but I held back just in case. He does throw the SP2, I fully evade it, and he drops. Which is good. And now we have a Kingpin again on Vivified. Now, I'm totally confident on this fight. I sort of had the last fight that you just saw in my head, and I thought, well, yeah, there's nothing that could possibly go wrong here. Sure, it's Vivified, but he'll just be throwing these SP1s all day, and I'll be doing my heavies, and it'll be a good time. We still have a White Magneto guidance, so I have guaranteed parries, and it should all be happy days. As you can see, I'm so confident I don't even heal up to full. Whoa. Now watch what happens here. He starts with full rage. I do heavy. He purifies one of the bleeds, then I get a poison, he purifies it, and suddenly we're in this situation where I've not actually managed to land a Neuro, and he throws his SP1, which is fine. You can see the global's ticking, so I don't want to punish, because if he'd gone unstoppable I would have got smacked, so I waited it out. I'm getting a little bit cornered here. He's just not throwing his SP1. He's just not. And I hear that I'm starting to degen away. He's unblockable. I think I have the spacing right, but I don't, and I get smacked, and I'm now degenning myself. I also have reduced ability accuracy reduction on my parries, but luckily that doesn't go into play. I'm thinking to myself, look, he's unstoppable. Am I just dead? Do I die here? We get a parry. I throw off a heavy. Still no Neuros because he shrugs off the only bleed I managed to put on him. We're cornered. We've got low health. Luckily the global doesn't trigger here, otherwise I might have died. And because of Vivified, I have to continually bait out specials. So I think to myself, right, I've got 21% to work with. I'm in this for the long haul. Let's just keep praying that the global doesn't trigger and he keeps throwing his SP1, because I don't. I probably could risk a parry heavy at this point, but if I miss my parry, I'm obviously just dead. And I don't want to get cornered at all, because I have to give him a lot of space for the SP1. So I am just doing normal hits to push him back, and I know that at the very least I will win this fight just by hitting him a bunch. And of course the SP1, I do manage to land a Neuro there, which is good news. That means that the global here, for example, doesn't trigger, so there's no chance of the unstoppable. And by this point we've pushed him back enough. He's been ticking down from our damage over time effects, and we managed to win. Geez, that was... like I said, this was a must-win war. I was so confident, and suddenly in the first 20 seconds of the fight, I was in the corner on 20%, and I was thinking, Jesus Christ, I'm really going to die to a Kingpin with Archangel. But we made it out alive, which is great. Next up we have Cersei. This is on the Spite node and the other node, I don't remember what it's called, but the one where once you knock them down, for a bit when they hit into your block, they gain power. I'm a little bit nervous about this, just because of course, you want to be knocking them down a lot. But of course you will also be turning off that node eventually with your Neuros, so my aim here is just to carry on as normal. Land a couple of... there's that timer, and she gets a bit of extra power there. Don't land any poisons, unfortunately. Here I try and wait it out by dashing back. Don't do quite well enough. But we land a couple of Neuros here. Unlike in the last where I fully evade her SP1. And at that point, yeah, the fight's now over. So I guess it was slightly harder than before, but at the end of the day, not much of a problem. Next up we have Hitmonkey on the Aspect Revolution and Kinetic Transference node. This node is only ever going to be a problem if the fight drags out, but of course with Archangel the objective is to end the fight as quickly as possible. I am going to use White Magneto again here, so I've got my guaranteed parries. Yet I'm still a little bit nervous about this fight. Now, of course, I did die earlier on in the season to a Hitmonkey with Ultron, which is, of course, a much worse matchup. But I'm still a little bit nervous about this, and I don't play possibly as aggressively as I should do here. I.e., if he's got the evade charge, if I've parried him, I think I can still heavy him, and he won't evade. But I'm quite cautious, and I prefer to wait it out. So there I get a parry, which and he shrugs off the poison, but whatever. I'm sort of more content to play it slightly more slowly. Like here, I think I could parry heavy, but I'm not, which is actually probably a bad strategy because, of course, every parry is giving him power from kinetic transference. But you know, he's melting quick enough that I'm happy to carry on in this vein. There he does a double medium, and so I get smacked because I'm not expecting it. Get a nice re-parry there, give him some power pointlessly from kinetic, but yeah, I don't get. You know, this fight could have been much quicker. I never really got the Neros going, but the normal damage over time effects did their job, and he's down. So again, not too bad. Now we now have a short break from the Archangel show to bring you some Stark's Body action. Sorry, not Stark's Body. What am I talking about? Spidey 29 action. I was tempted to play this fight parry heavy, just to fit with the theme, but then I thought no, I probably shouldn't. The exhaustions would of course reduce her power ability rate from working as well, but I think no, it's not worth it. I don't have the anti-venom synergy here, so there's no wither at the start of the fight, so my objective is to race to an SP2. Hence why, as you can see here, I'm applying an advanced power boost. And once I've landed that SP2, it's kind of game over. Sorcerer Supreme has a very low health pool, so I probably don't even need it. Because as you'll see in a moment, I do a couple of combos to get to SP2, and she sort of just does a load of damage. But after this next hit, we get to SP2, and I think to myself, I can't be bothered to wait out a special, and wait and risk her going to an SP3. So I'm going to throw it immediately, even though it'll do no damage from the indestructible buff. Because I just want I want the guaranteed control of her power. She throws the special, and now we can kind of carry on. The fight is now over because she's basically just power locked. And again, here I think to myself, I probably should wait, but I'm just going to throw it. Does no damage, but again, now she's just completely screwed. I suspect the fight might be over if I'd waited, but it's fine. I decided to play uber duper safe here, just for the sake of this final war. And here, of course, I do wait, because I'm not completely stupid. And I think this will finish it. Yep. So, nice and easy job. This was a fun war for me, just because, as you can see the timer, it's now 5.5 hours into war starts, and due to the excellent taxi work of my alliance mates, I was able to get to my assigned mini and get the whole thing done before bed for me, which is big. So first of all, the rest of the group isn't waiting for me to do something sort of 12 hours into war when I've just woken up, and I can just carry on with my day the next day, not having to worry about war, which is great. So yeah, this is a bit of an anticlimax for this final fight of the season. It's just a Venom. You've already seen a Venom fight. The only complication here, I suppose, is the global, but not too much to worry about. Of course, once I've landed a couple of these lovely parry heavies, we're sorted. With all those Neros, there's no chance the global triggers, and it doesn't. And block the SP1 to get poison. Chuck off the SP1 because we are actually approaching Falter there. That's something that could, in theory, help be an issue on this fight, but not really, because you just turn everything off. And nice little reparry, and as you can see, the season is now over, more or less. Stinky Peanuts Venom goes down, and yeah, that's the end of my season. So we had 3 deaths, which overall, like I said, this I think that's pretty poor for me, or at least maybe other people will be happy with that, and that's great, but I'm annoyed if I die once in a season. 3 times is pretty shocking. And we managed to win this war, which is great, which meant that we finished in the number 3 position, I think, in the lower half of Masters, which is absolutely fine. That's all our goal is. We're not sort of pushing for the top 13. We're very happy with the top. Sorry, top 10, isn't it? Yeah, we're very happy with the top 20. We don't need the top 10. So yeah, overall not too bad a season. Overall I'm glad to see this global gone. It's become a bit stale, a bit meh. And thank you very much for watching all these videos. I hope you've enjoyed them or found them entertaining or informative or something like that. So I will see you all in the next one. Ta-ta.